Hi everybody, Mature Simmer here. So welcome back. Drawn back to Tower Companion. There's no other way to describe it. Have other things I could do, but I've been like, I haven't done a Tower Companion thing in a while. Every time I'm kind of like, what to do. I'm definitely in that paralysis because of the amount of choices thing. So I've been like, well, what do I want to dabble in? I haven't dabbled in, and I've done a few things. I've played around in original shapes a little bit, just trying to get familiar with that. Once again, it'd been a while since I had touched that. So was playing with that, but before things get busy, and I do need to do some PGA golf, which I'm excited about, but I do need to get my career episodes up to snuff to cover the weekend break before the next TGC tours. I'm a little short there, I believe. I also need to edit my flight for Saturday, but I wanted to get a Tower Companion Tower Simulator in. So I'm going to do the 2-hour Copenhagen schedule that I had built a little while ago. Haven't touched this now. We're on, as you can see, that it popped up very briefly, June 12th, and I became a supporter June 5th, and, it's been a week since I've done anything, so that's kind of the point, is that was where I was like, maybe 3 would be okay. And again, if that really ultimately turns out to be the case, I may then cancel my supporter thing. But I think it's just nice to have it and know you can create a schedule. And it's certainly very feasible when I get on a streak and it's like, hey, I'm just going to do 3 or 4 schedules in 3 to 4 different airports today. Like, I wouldn't be able to do that without being a supporter. So even if I only do that once a week, but yeah, 2 hours will probably be good enough. So I need to get going and start this up, but right now it's showing me 96. We'll see what happens. So Copenhagen, it's the main international airport serving Copenhagen, Denmark, a large part of southern Sweden. One of the oldest international airports in Europe, it's the busiest airport for international travel in Scandinavia, dealing with 30 million passengers in 2018. But this is one of those Nigeria's design airports. No idea what the real weather is, but hey, we give it a go. Looking up if I can see what the runways are. No ATIS, so we're going to have to guess. But wind is at 190 at 8 knots, so obviously probably 22 right and left. Let me pull up the chart. I'm going to pull this over here. It's an interesting airport. So 22 left, 22 right. So 22 right is a long way from the terminal. So there is no, looking at the Tower Companion schedule, there is no massive group of arrivals. So I think, we do have some where in like 1310 we get 4, but other than that, and around 1400, we're getting quite a few. I just want to make sure right at the end, at 1440, we do have multiples arriving, so those might be a challenge. But I think I can go ahead and have, because 180 means winds blowing out of this. So the closest I'm going to get is the 22s. And so I am going to have arrivals on 22 right. And hopefully that will work. So again, I need to get to, what is it, 1244. All right, let me go ahead and give this a go. All right, here we are in Copenhagen. So let's get out here to the field. Got a lot going to be going on over the next couple hours, I think. So we'll see how things go. So We've got one approaching. Whoop, I've got to
April,
switch
Air
this.
Canada 829 Heavy with information Bravo. Requesting push and start.
Alright, so I think we're going to go there. Air Canada 829 Heavy, pushback approved. Expect runway 22 left. Let me just make sure. I've had to restart this 5 or 6 times. Just was not working. So there were 2 Scandinavians that got deleted. They were A350s, I think. So
Apron, Scandinavian 1593 with information Bravo. Requesting push and start.
Scandinavian 1593, pushback approved. Expect runway 22 left.
Pushback approved. Expect runway 22 left.
Head over
Scandinavian
here.
1593.
Let's see, where's that go? Whoops. Oh, that's just a blue line. Alright, so it's going there. Okay. So they're clear of each other.
Apron, Scandinavian 1677 with information Bravo. Requesting push and start.
Scandinavian 1677, stand by.
Roger. Scandinavian 1677.
So I was beginning to wonder if I had a problem because I created the schedule before the latest tower update, but it did load eventually, so, but yeah, pretty compact airport, all around here as far as I can tell. We might find...
Scandinavian 2864 with information Bravo. Requesting push and start.
Alright.
April, Air Canada 829 Heavy ready to taxi.
Scandinavian 2864, pushback approved. Expect runway 22 left. Air Canada 829 Heavy, runway 22 left, line up and wait.
Pushback approved. Expect runway 22 left. Scandinavian 2864.
Alright, there's a red nose, which we couldn't get in before, and it is arriving. It's on final.
Castrop Tower, red noise 3637 on final 22 right.
Scandinavian 24 Foxtrot, stand by.
Roger. Scandinavian 24 Foxtrot.
Oh goodness. Is this going to push out that way?
Scandinavian 24 Foxtrot with information
I guess
Bravo.
that makes
Requesting
sense.
push and start.
Wow.
Apron, Air Portugal 53 Kilo Tango with information Bravo. Requesting push and start.
Air Portugal 53 Kilo Tango, pushback approved. Expect runway 22 left. We'll see how that goes, because this one may go out the way I expect, but that is surprising. I don't know that I've seen one really do that. That's cool. I mean, it's nice that it does that, but alright, so he's coming there, he's turning. You can move over a little bit, get a little closer.
Apron, Scandinavian 2864 ready to taxi.
Scandinavian 2864, runway 22 left, line up and wait.
Runway 22 left, line up and wait. Scandinavian 2864.
Alright, now once Air Portugal goes, I'm going to release him. Okay, so it looks like we're getting another one that's going to be there. But yeah, these take a bit. So we'll see what we get. Is the Air Portugal going to go back or what today? Just seems like it's taking forever. Alright, so he's got to come around there. I'm just worried they're kind of on a collision course here. That's always the danger. My goodness. Is he waiting for him? That would be awful if that's how this works with these. But he may be.
Apron, Scandinavian 1593 ready to taxi.
Scandinavian 1593, runway 22 left, line up and wait.
Runway 22 left, line up and wait. Scandinavian
Right.
1593.
So Air Canada's gonna go. That's good. Air Canada 829 Heavy, runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff upon reaching altitude 500. Contact departure. So
Runway 22 left.
Kinda got
Clear for
these
immediate takeoff on reaching altitude
to
500.
watch the
Contact
line
departure.
here that I'm
Air Canada
anticipating we
829
might
Heavy.
have at some point. So I may not rush anything. We'll see.
Apron, Lufthansa 3 Yankee Yankee with information Charlie, requesting push and start.
Yeah, so. Scandinavian 24 Foxtrot, pushback approved. Expect runway 22 left.
Pushback approved, expect
Lufthansa
runway 22
3
left.
Yankee Yankee,
Scandinavian 24
pushback
Foxtrot.
approved. Expect runway 22 left. I think we're going to have all kinds of problems
Pushback
here.
approved, expect runway 22 left. Lufthansa 3
Oh, goodness.
Yankee Yankee.
Now they're all going to wait for each other. Scandinavian 1677, pushback approved. Expect runway 22 left. I guess we'll see what happens, but
Pushback approved. Expect runway 22 left. Scandinavian 1677.
Scandinavian 1712, pushback approved. Expect runway 22 left. Oh, I guess we had a
Pushback approved.
Red
Expect runway
nose.
22 left. Scandinavian
3637, runway 22 right, cleared to land. I don't
Runway
know
22
where
right,
he
clear
was.
to land.
Oh goodness.
Red nose 3637.
I hope we got him in time. He's showing up as landing, so I think we're okay.
Apron, Scandinavian 567 with information Charlie, requesting push and start.
Scandinavian 567, pushback approved. Expect runway 22 left. Okay, it's a heavy, so
Pushback approved.
I'm gonna
expect
need to
runway
let
22
him
left.
take off.
Scandinavian 567.
Alright, where is the other one? Anatolian 1 Juliet Hotel, pushback approved. Expect runway 22 left.
Pushback approved. Expect runway 22 left.
So I'm
Anatolian 1
thinking they're
Juliet
literally
Hotel.
all waiting. All of these just need to get shoved out here, which is awful. The way they scheduled them
Scandinavian
all.
1712 with information Charlie, requesting push and start.
Cast Trip Tower, Red Nose 5 Tango Pop on final 22 right.
Apron, Lufthansa 3 Yankee Yankee ready to taxi.
Red Nose 5 Tango Papa. Red Nose 5 Tango Papa, runway 22 right, cleared to land.
Runway 22 right, clear to land.
Lufthansa
Red Nose
3
5
Yankee
Tango
Yankee,
Papa.
runway 22 left, line up and wait.
Runway 22 left. Line up and
Red
wait.
Nose
Lufthansa 3
3637,
Yankee Yankee.
taxi to terminal. Cross runway 12.
Taxi to terminal. Cross runway 12. Red nose 3637.
Apron, Scandinavian 1712 ready to taxi.
Alright. Scandinavian 1712, runway 22 left, line up and wait. Scandinavian 2864, runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure.
Runway 22
We
left.
literally
line
have
up and
one
wait.
handled in all
Scandinavian
of this.
1712.
Right, so if I go out here,
Runway
he
22
vacated
left.
about
Clear for
there.
immediate takeoff on reaching altitude 500. Contact departure. Scandinavian 2864.
Right, so we'll see
Apron,
who goes
Anatolian
where.
1 Juliet Hotel ready to taxi.
Anatolian 1 Juliet Heavy, runway 22 left, line up and wait.
Runway 22 left. Line up and wait. Anatolian 1 Juliet Hotel.
Apron, Scandinavian 567 ready to taxi.
Scandinavian 567, runway 22 left, line up and wait.
Runway 22 left. Line up and wait.
Scandinavian
Scandinavian
1593, runway
567.
22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure.
Runway 22 left. Cleared for immediate takeoff on reaching altitude 500. Contact departure. Scandinavian 1593.
Now we're going to see how these all
Cast Trip Tower,
work
Red Nose
together.
365 Lima on final 22 right.
Air Portugal 53 Kilo Tango, runway 22 left, line up and wait.
Runway 22 left. Line up and wait. Air Portugal 53 Kilo Tango.
That's going to be
Apron,
interesting.
Air Portugal 53 Kilo Tango ready to taxi.
Hopefully they stay out of each other's way. Okay,
Apron,
everybody's
Anatolian 1 Juliet
going.
Hotel with information Charlie, requesting push and start.
Alright. Scandinavian 1712, runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure. Oh my god, we've got all kinds
Runway
of
22
planes.
left, cleared for immediate takeoff on reaching altitude 500, contact departure. Scandinavian 1712.
Alright, there we go. I'm like, are they gonna ever
Charlie
move?
with information Charlie, requesting push and start.
Ryanair 8 Uniform Charlie, pushback approved, expect runway 22 left. Red Nose 365 Lima, runway 22 right, cleared to land.
Pushback approved, expect runway 22 left. Ryanair 8 Uniform Charlie.
Alright, so we've got a lot of Red
Runway
Nose
22
coming
right,
in.
cleared to land. Red Nose 365 Lima.
Scandinavian 2535, pushback approved, expect runway 22 left.
Pushback approved. Expect runway 22 left. Scandinavian 2535.
Alright. Yeah, these are just not going at all.
Apron, Scandinavian 2535 with information Charlie, requesting push and start.
Alright, well, he's already cleared, so we're okay. Lufthansa 3 Yankee Yankee, runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure.
Runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff. On reaching altitude 500, contact departure. Lufthansa 3 Yankee Yankee.
Red Nose 3637, hold position.
Hold position. Red noise 3637.
Castro Tower, Ryanair 94 Alpha Romeo 1 final 22 right.
Hopefully they can pass each other. So I'm probably going to need to hold him. Ryanair 94 Alpha Romeo, runway 22 right, cleared to land.
Runway 22 right, cleared to land. Ryanair 94 Alpha Romeo.
Apron, Scandinavian 24 Foxtrot ready to taxi.
Scandinavian 24 Foxtrot, runway 22 left, line up and wait.
Runway 22 left, line up and wait. Scandinavian 24 Foxtrot.
Apron, Ryanair 8 Uniform Charlie ready to taxi.
Ryanair 8 Uniform Charlie, runway 22 left, line up and wait. Scandinavian 2535, runway 22 left, line up and wait.
Runway 22 left, line up and wait. Ryanair 8 Uniform Charlie.
So now I need to let him go. We're going to have to keep holding Red Nose.
Scandinavian 2535.
So, not going to be great, but it's not a challenge, so that's okay. Alright, what have we got? Everybody's moving. Scandinavian 567, runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure. Red Nose 5 Tango Papa, taxi to terminal, cross runway 12.
Runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff. On reaching altitude 500, contact departure.
So he's
Scandinavian 567.
down there. We've got another
Taxi
one
to terminal.
coming.
Cross runway 12. Red nose 5 Tango Papa.
So we're going to be waiting a long
Castro
time
Tower.
here.
Easy
I
73
think he's
Mike
turning.
Victor on final 22 right.
Easy 73 Mike Victor, runway 22 right, cleared to land. So yeah, 1300,
Runway
which is a
22
minute
right,
and a half.
Cleared to land. Easy 73 Mike
There'll be
Victor.
a lot going on here. So yeah, let me see if I can figure out what that taxiway is. That is what? Where are we? We're along 12. Man, they're not really labeled. Huh. Lovely. So I don't know what taxiway that is, but it's like Red Nose really needs to go somewhere else. But anyway. Alright. Air Portugal 53 Kilo Tango, runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure.
Runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff. On reaching altitude 500, contact departure. Air Portugal 53 Kilo Tango.
Apron, Scandinavian 1677, ready to taxi.
Scandinavian 1677, runway 22 left, line up and wait.
Runway 22 left, line up and wait. Scandinavian 1677.
Alright, so at least they're gone before other planes start calling in. I don't know what's going to happen here. He should get by, I'm thinking. Red Nose 365 Lima, taxi to terminal, cross runway 12. Anatolian 1 Juliet Hotel, runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff. Upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure. Alright, so they're
Taxi
good.
to terminal, cross runway 12, Red Nose 365 Lima.
Now is he moving? Yes.
Runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff. On reaching altitude
Red
500,
Nose 3637,
contact departure.
continue taxi.
Anatolian 1 Juliet Hotel.
Now at this point,
Continue taxi.
he is...
Red Nose 3637.
Let's see.
Castrat Tower, I said 204 on final 22
He's
right.
got almost 4 minutes. Ice Air 204, runway 22 right, cleared to land. Alright, there comes the Ryanair.
Runway 22 right,
So-
cleared to land. I said 204.
So I'm not sure where the Red Noses are actually going. But basically, as long as these aren't calling in...
56 uniform Mike with information Charlie, requesting push and start.
Alright, where are... Okay. Sunturk 56 uniform Mike, pushback approved, expect runway 22 left. Scandinavian 1396, pushback approved, expect runway 22 left. Scandinavian 61 Alpha, pushback approved, expect runway 22 left. Ryanair 8 Uniform Charlie, runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff. Upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure.
Pushback approved. Expect runway
Ryanair
22
94
left.
Alpha
Sunturk
Romeo,
56
taxi to
uniform Mike.
terminal, cross runway 12.
Pushback approved. Expect runway 22 left. Scandinavian 1396.
Alright, so at this
Pushback
point...
approved. Expect runway 22 left. Scandinavian 61 Alpha.
Runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff. On reaching altitude 500, contact departure. Ryanair 8 Uniform Charlie.
Scandinavian 1456, pushback approved, expect runway 22 left. Scandinavian 24 Foxtrot, runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff. Upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure.
Taxi to terminal, cross runway 12, Ryanair 94 Alpha Romeo.
Scandinavian 2761, pushback approved, expect runway 22 left. Man, I hope these guys all stay clear of each other.
Pushback
I don't know that
approved.
they
Runway
will.
22 left. Scandinavian 1456.
Runway
Alright, so
22
Ryanair
left,
is
cleared
going
for immediate takeoff.
a
On
different
reaching
way.
altitude 500, contact departure. Scandinavian 24 Foxtrot.
Scandinavian 1396, runway 22 left, line up and wait.
Pushback approved. Expect runway 22 left. Scandinavian 2761.
Now I'm assuming Sunturk and all
Runway
these
22
others
left.
will
Line up
go.
and wait. Scandinavian 1396.
Alright,
Apron,
so Red
Scandinavian
Nose is
1396
really going
ready to
out
taxi.
there.
Apron, Scandinavian 61 Alpha ready to taxi.
Scandinavian 61 Alpha, runway 22 left, line up and wait. Scandinavian 2535, pushback approved, expect runway... Whoop. Scandinavian 2535, runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff. Upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure.
Runway 22 left. Line up and wait. Scandinavian 61 Alpha.
Scandinavian 949, pushback approved, expect
25.
runway 22 left. So as I said, lots of departure
Runway 22 left. Cleared
issues,
for
but
immediate takeoff. On reaching altitude
Easy 73
500.
Mike
Contact
Victor,
departure.
taxi to
Scandinavian
terminal, cross runway
25.
12.
Pushback approved. Expect runway 22 left. Scandinavian 949.
Taxi to terminal, Cross runway
So
12.
red nose is in
Easy
there, the other
73
one's
Mike
going
Victor.
there.
Castrop Tower, Scandinavian
Should be
22
okay,
Papa on
hopefully.
final 2 to right.
Apron, Sunturk 56 uniform Mike ready to taxi.
Sunturk 56 uniform, Mike, runway 22 left, line up and wait.
Runway 22 left, line up and wait. Sunturk 56 uniform Mike.
He's waiting for the Scandinavian, I'm sure. Scandinavian 1677, runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure. Scandinavian 22 Papa, runway 22 right, cleared to land. So again, that's a
Runway 22
1300.
left, cleared for immediate takeoff. I'm reaching altitude 500.
Alright.
Contact departure.
So Ryanair, the
Scandinavian
problem is they...
1677.
Scandinavian 1456, runway 22 left, line up and wait.
Runway 22 right, clear to land. Scandinavian 22 Papa.
Runway
Now,
22
hopefully
left. Line up and wait.
It'll
Scandinavian
know Sunturk
1456.
is coming.
Apron. Scandinavian 1456 ready to taxi.
Ryanair 691 Heavy, pushback approved, expect... Whoop. Ryanair 691 Hotel, pushback approved, expect runway 22 left.
Command property error.
Scandinavian
Ryanair
61 Alpha,
Hotel.
runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure. Scandinavian 949, runway 22 left, line up and wait.
Pushback approved, expect runway 22 left. Ryanair 691 Hotel.
Okay, it's going to be a question
Runway
of,
22
is
left.
he going to
Clear
start
for immediate
moving?
takeoff. On reaching altitude 500, contact departure. Scandinavian 61 Alpha.
Runway 22 left, line up and wait. Scandinavian
He
949.
should hopefully line up and get there.
Scandinavian 949,
Scandinavian
right to taxi.
937 Heavy, pushback approved, expect runway 22 left. Ice Air 204, taxi to terminal, cross runway 12.
Pushback approved, expect runway 22 left. Scandinavian
Ryanair
937
94
heavy.
Alpha Romeo. Alright, he's going there, so
Taxi
we're
to
good.
terminal. Cross runway 12. I said 204.
Alright. Scandinavian 1396, runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure. So Ice Air is uncommon.
Runway 22 left. Cleared for immediate takeoff. On reaching altitude 500, contact departure. Scandinavian 1396.
Apron. Scandinavian 2761 ready to taxi.
Scandinavian 2761, runway 22 left, line up and wait. Alright.
Runway 22
he's
left.
there.
Line up and wait.
Whoop.
Scandinavian 2761.
Fraction 647 kilo, pushback approved, expect runway 22 left.
Pushback approved. Expect runway 22 left.
Scandinavian...
Fraction 647 kilo.
Whoops, which one is that? Oh, that's Ice Air,
Ryanair
never mind.
691 Hotel ready to taxi.
Castro
Ryanair
Tower.
691 Hotel,
Scandinavian
runway
33
22
Delta,
left,
final
line up
22
and
right.
wait.
Runway 22 left, line up and wait. Ryanair 691 Hotel.
Alright, I'm not sure where Easy's gonna go. Scandinavian 33 Delta, runway 22 right, cleared to land. Do we have
Runway
anything
22
stuck
right.
here?
Clear to
No.
land.
But the Scandinavian
33
is
Delta.
coming in, a little one there.
Apron. Scandinavian 937 heavy ready to taxi.
Easy 73 Mike Victor. Alright, he's just coming in there, so that's fine.
Apron. Scandinavian 1396 with information Charlie.
Scandinavian
Requesting push and
949, runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure.
Runway 22 left, clear for immediate takeoff. On reaching
Scandinavian
altitude 500,
937
contact
Heavy,
departure.
runway 22 left, line up and wait.
Runway 22 left. Line up and wait. Scandinavian 937 heavy.
Alright, he's not ready yet.
Apron. Scandinavian 61 Alpha with information Charlie. Requesting push and start.
Apron.
Fraction 647
ready
kilo,
to taxi.
runway 22 left, line up and wait.
Runway 22 left. Line up and wait. Fraction 647 kilo.
Alright. So, things are slowing down a
Apron,
bit.
Scandinavian 1456 with
Let's see what
information
happens
Charlie.
with ice
Requesting
air.
push and start.
These are all old calls, by the way.
Apron. Scandinavian 2761 with information Charlie. Requesting push and start.
Scandinavian 22 Papa, taxi to terminal, cross runway 12.
Taxi
A
to
little
terminal.
bit delay
Cross
there.
runway 12.
Got a
Scandinavian
21-second
22
delay.
Papa.
Ice Air 204. Hold position.
Hold position. I said 204.
Alright. So easy is
Scandinavian
parking.
949 with information Charlie. Requesting
Ryanair
push and start.
691 Hotel, runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff upon reaching altitude 500. Contact departure. So in about 10
Runway 22
seconds, we're
left.
going to get
Cleared
another
for
one
immediate
calling
takeoff
in.
on reaching altitude
for
500.
clearance.
Contact departure.
Another
Ryanair
Scandinavian.
691 Hotel.
Alright, so fractions got to get through here.
Apron. Ryanair 691 Hotel with information Charlie. Requesting push and start.
Okay, that's the one that's going to call.
Apron, Scandinavian 937 Heavy with information Charlie. Requesting push and start.
Scandinavian 675, pushback approved. Expect runway 22 left.
Pushback approved. Expect runway 22 left. Scandinavian 675.
Ice Air 204, continue taxi.
Continue taxi. I said 204.
Alright. Scandinavian 1456, runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff upon reaching altitude 500. Contact departure. So yeah, as far as departures, at least
Runway
things are
22
slowing
left.
down a
Cleared
bit.
for immediate takeoff on reaching altitude
Now,
500.
we're gonna have the heavy
Contact
there.
departure. Scandinavian 1456.
So we'll see how he goes. Alright, do I have one?
Apron.
Not
Fraction
yet.
647 kilo with information Charlie. Requesting push and start.
Alright, so fraction is going. All these blue lines on the
Apron. Scandinavian
confusing me.
675 with information Charlie. Requesting push and
Alright,
start.
so we're caught up now on all the calls. So we should be okay. We'll just, I'm trying to keep these as a little bit reasonable. I'm not like sending them off like crazy like I have in some cases. Sun Turk 56 uniform Mike, runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff upon reaching altitude 500. Contact departure.
Runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff. On reaching altitude 500,
So,
contact departure.
yeah, I'm not, I
Sun
can't
Turk
really
56
read
uniform
that
right.
one. Let's see.
Apron. Scandinavian 675 ready to taxi.
Scandinavian 675, runway 22 left, line up and wait. We'll see if we can get a better
Runway
view of
22
his
left. Line up
livery
and wait.
here.
Scandinavian 675.
So is it... It looks like it says T... Man, I don't know. Maybe it's not even regular writing. No, it's flygps.com. Interesting.
Foxtrot Tower. Scandinavian 45 Foxtrot on final 22 right.
Scandinavian 45 Foxtrot, runway 22 right, cleared to land. Alright, now we're good
Runway
there.
22 right. Clear to
Scandinavian
land.
2761,
Scandinavian
runway
45
22
Foxtrot.
left, cleared for immediate takeoff upon reaching altitude 500. Contact departure. Alright, so
Runway
we
22
got
left.
fraction
Cleared
is
for
there.
immediate takeoff. On
Alright,
reaching altitude
Scandinavian's
500,
coming
contact
there.
departure.
Ice Air
Scandinavian
just parked.
2761.
So that was our last really big delay, but let's see where Scandinavian is going. Hopefully he'll just, no, well, maybe he'll go in here. I'm worried about these, although I don't see any kind of activity. Oh, it looks like the red nose, one of them went there. Interesting. Alright. Scandinavian 33 Delta, taxi to terminal, cross runway 12.
Taxi to
So
terminal.
he's going
Cross
there.
runway 12. Scandinavian 33 Delta.
So he was waiting a little bit. It's hard to tell when they land. Scandinavian 937 Heavy, runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff upon reaching altitude 500. Contact departure. Alright. That one
Runway
now we're going to
22
have to
left.
wait
Clear for immediate
before
takeoff. On
we get
reaching altitude
fraction
500, contact
going.
departure. Scandinavian 937 Heavy.
But fraction still has to line up and wait in theory and all of that, so we're okay. Alright, so they're coming in. Wow, this is at least a quick taxiway. I like that. So they don't mess around in there. Alright, we've got several 1310s arriving, because, yeah, we have 4 planes. I think this is the big arrival group. And then there is one at 1315, but there's just one. And right
Capital
now...
Tower, Scandinavian 1212 and final 22 right.
Right now we've got them all approaching except one. Scandinavian 1212, runway 22 right, cleared to land. So we're going to have a lot coming in.
Runway 22 right, cleared to land. Scandinavian 1212.
Alright, he's just off, so we're going to wait a little bit yet. Because otherwise I think internally in the game it's gonna give us a bit of a problem. But I think we're okay now. Fraction 647 Kilo, runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff upon reaching altitude 500. Contact departure. Okay. So if we're going to get the air, we're going to get it right
Cleared for
away.
immediate takeoff. On reaching altitude 500, contact departure. Fraction 647 Kilo.
Finn Air 7 Zulu, pushback approved, expect runway 22 left.
Pushback approved. Expect
Question
runway
is
22 left.
he going to get
Finn
here
Air
and
7
go?
Zulu.
Maybe not, but we'll see. So,
Apron. Finn Air 7 Zulu with information. Charlie. Requesting push and start.
alright. We still don't have the other 1310 arriving, which is disappointing. Now, there's a lot of common and uncommon planes, so I'm hoping for my spotting it's actually going to be pretty good. Scandinavian 675, runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff upon reaching altitude 500. Contact departure. Alright.
Runway 22 left. Cleared for immediate takeoff. On reaching altitude
Yeah,
500.
everybody's
Contact
doing
departure.
their thing.
Scandinavian 675.
He's moving along nicely. Okay, so... yeah, that's the last 1310. I'm like, wait a minute. But yeah, things moved up on the list, so it got a little confusing. We have 28 of 94 handled. Nobody's been deleted, so that's
Castro
good.
Tower, Scandinavian 2692 on final 22 right.
Scandinavian 2692, runway 22 right, clear to land. Now once again...
Runway 22 right, cleared to land. Scandinavian 2692.
Alright, nobody to take off. That's the next one landing, so we've got a little bit of a spread here. We're going to let him cross. He should get in here.
Apron. Finn Air 7 Zulu ready to taxi.
Finn Air 7 Zulu, stand by. So hopefully...
Roger. Finn Air 7 Zulu.
We just need Scandinavian to come in and do its thing, and then we can let him out. So as soon as he gets close or starts to make the turn. So yeah, the key is the taxiways. There aren't a lot of taxiways. Now we have this tie here, which I don't see in my immediate schedule, but we'll see. Alright, he is crawling along. Finn Air 7 Zulu, runway 22 left, line up and wait.
Runway 22 left. Line up and wait. Finn Air 7 Zulu.
Alright, so he was not given any delay. 33D is 13 seconds back, so that's not going to help. Alright. Scandinavian 45 Foxtrot, taxi to terminal, cross runway 12. Okay, so he's going
Taxi to
there.
terminal, cross runway 12.
So
Scandinavian
everybody's
45
parking
Foxtrot.
there. We've got a 1320, an EasyJet that's gonna call in. So these look like they're all Scandinavian. Yeah, a lot of Scandinavians here. More Scandinavians. We've got the Thai.
Castro Tower, Scandinavian 41 Charlie on final 22 right.
Scandinavian 41 Charlie, runway 22 right, cleared to land. Alright, and then we do have the 1315
right,
is already approaching.
41 Charlie.
Again, it's a little bit late, but now, and then we have 2 coming in at 1320, 2 coming in at 1325, so should be okay. But yeah, a lot of cleared to land right now. I like the boat moving along. That's pretty cool. Let's see. Alright, he's coming. We know where he's going. Okay, there's Ice Air. That's the one that came in. That was a common livery. There's a Scandinavian cleared to land, but I think anything that has a label gets counted. Even if it is common, it's just like counted as 1, so it's not going to give me a lot, but it'll give me more than people who aren't doing anything, right? But yeah, it's just interesting how many planes we had all at once, and now it just kind of has mellowed out, so I don't know if it's going to stay a little quieter. I mean, it gives us some time to enjoy the airport, I suppose. So we'll watch him come in and just kind of see, because really the touchdown point is there. And none of these are vacating points where, you know, all of the ones, like if we were coming in on 4 left, they'd land. So that's the thing. Like, this is really the first realistic exit point for any of these planes.
Easy 86 November Tango with information Charlie. Requesting push and start.
Alright, well, we know where he is, so let's see. Where is Easy? Aha. Oh, so that's the one that came in. Easy 86 November Tango, pushback approved. Expect runway 22 left. And then we have 2. We have a red nose, and, you know, but right now nothing is falling off,
Emirates
so
65
that's good.
uniform heavy on final 22 right.
Emirates 65 uniform heavy, runway 22 right, cleared to land. Again, I don't know if we have an Emirates leaving
Runway
later.
22 right, cleared to land. Emirates 65 uniform heavy.
But we don't have any calling in for about 4 minutes after the Easy, so we should be good. Finnair 7 Zulu, runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff. Upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure. Scandinavian 1212, taxi to terminal, cross runway 12.
Runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff.
So, sadly, we got about a 7-second hold, but now these are coming in relatively quickly. But I should be able to watch him here. So yeah, there's another 1320. It's now 1321-20, and they are not approaching yet. So, like I said, there are things backed up. Alright, so we'll see. Like, where do they finally call? Are they already there? Where they say that they're exited? Like, when do they appear on the list here?
Apron, Easy 86 November Tango.
SAS 2692, taxi to terminal, cross runway 12. Just gonna see, where is he going? Alright, they're going over there. Easy 86 November Tango, runway 22 left, line up and wait.
Runway 22 left, line up and wait.
SAS
Easy
2692, taxi to terminal, cross runway 12. It didn't take it, so I got an arrival hold. Scandinavian 2692, runway 22. Whoop. Scandinavian 2692, taxi to terminal, cross runway 12. That's the thing I was saying, SAS,
Negative.
which is
Unknown
their call
command.
sign.
Scandinavian 2692.
So,
Taxi to terminal.
Alright.
Cross runway 12.
we have
Scandinavian
that.
2692.
Castro Tower, Ryanair 70 Alpha Foxtrot on final 22 right.
Ryanair 70 Alpha Foxtrot, runway 22 right, cleared to land.
Runway 22 right, cleared to land.
Right.
Ryanair 70 Alpha Foxtrot.
Easy's not there yet. We've got Red Nose, we've got Scandinavian. And again, it's just where are they going to call in from. Scandinavian 1212. Alright, so they're going there too. So basically, I'm worried about these two calling in as the Scandinavians right now, because they're going to be a problem if they do. Alright, so let me see if this will work, because basically it came and then it didn't clear. Now, Wizz Air is the other 1320 arrival. It is now approaching. Scandinavian 41 Charlie, taxi to terminal, cross runway 12. It's interesting that he's
Taxi
to
going
terminal.
that way.
Cross runway 12.
So I assume,
Scandinavian
alright, so
41
he's
Charlie.
going there. That makes sense. Alright, so he's going to come in. And so basically, yeah, it's just coming in that way is a little challenging. Alright, everybody's... Oh, he's also going... Well, but he's coming over, so I guess they're all going to cross that way. So we've still got 45 seconds. He'll probably be across the runway and well on his way to the apron and gate area. But like I said, and the Red Nose is going to call first, which I assume is going to be one of these three, because those are the only Red Noses I see. Here comes the Emirates. No idea where he's going to park. Easy 86 November Tango, runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff. Upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure.
Runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff. On reaching altitude 500, contact departure. Easy 86 November Tango.
Alright, and then a 1325, which should hopefully show up in a few seconds on the arrival, but I don't know that it will.
Apron,
Did not.
Scandinavian 9 or 29 heavy
Nope,
with
there it
information
is.
Delta, requesting push and start.
So where are you? Scandinavian 9 or 29 heavy, pushback approved, expect runway 22 left. Scandinavian
Pushback
1212.
approved, expect runway 22 left. Scandinavian 9 or 29 heavy.
Scandinavian 1212.
Castrop Tower, Wizz Air Mall to 3 Yankee Charlie on final 22 right.
Let's see, can I get... It's probably too late. Scandinavian 1212, hold position. I just need
Hold
to
position.
clear this out.
Scandinavian 1212.
See, I don't know that I... There's no
Apron,
detail.
Red Nose 3746 with information Delta, requesting push and start.
Scandinavian 1212, taxi to terminal via Romeo.
Taxi to terminal via Romeo.
Scandinavian 1212, hold position. Scandinavian 1212, taxi to terminal via Romeo 2. Scandinavian 1212, hold position. I just need to have him wait. This just is not...
Position.
Because that should be, according to the map, this should be Romeo 2,
Taxi to
Romeo
terminal
1.
via Romeo. Tango. Scandinavian 1212.
Alright.
Position. Scandinavian
Red Nose
1212.
3746, pushback approved, expect runway 22 left.
Pushback approved, expect runway 22 left.
That's where we have
Red
a little
Nose
bit.
3746.
Emirates 65 uniform heavy, taxi to terminal, cross runway 12. He's been holding for a
Taxi
minute.
to terminal. Cross runway 12. Emirates 65 uniform heavy.
Scandinavian, he's still
Apron,
waiting.
Scandinavian 9 or 29 heavy ready to taxi.
Scandinavian 9 or 29 heavy, runway 22 left, line up and wait.
Runway 22 left, line up and wait. Scandinavian 9 or 29
Wizz
heavy.
Air Malta 3 Yankee Charlie, runway 22 right, cleared to land.
Runway 22 right, cleared to land. Wizz Air Mall to 3
Scandinavian
Yankee Charlie.
1212, continue taxi.
Continue taxi. Scandinavian 1212.
Scandinavian 1212, taxi to terminal.
Taxi to terminal. Scandinavian 1212.
Why is it going in a circle? I
Castro
don't
Tower,
like that.
Scandinavian 70 for power on final 22 right.
That's going to be a problem. Scandinavian 1212, taxi to terminal via Sierra.
Taxi to terminal via Sierra. Scandinavian 1212.
Now, I believe this will turn as well, which will be good. Okay, it's not.
Apron, red nose 3746 ready to taxi.
Scandinavian 2692. Alright, that should be okay. Red nose 3746, runway 22 left, line up and wait.
Runway 22 left, line up and wait. Red nose 3746.
Ryanair 70 Alpha Foxtrot, taxi to terminal, cross runway 12. Scandinavian 70 Papa, runway 22 right, cleared to land. Alright.
Taxi to
So,
terminal. Cross runway
hopefully
12.
we're
Ryanair
good
70
here.
Alpha Foxtrot.
Alright, they've all stayed out of each other's
Runway 22
way.
right, cleared to land. Scandinavian 70 for
These
power.
will all park. Now again, there's a Scandinavian calling in a minute, so it's possible he could be one of those, but hopefully in a minute he'll be well on his way there. These two are parking next to each other. Okay, Red Nose is moving.
Castro Tower, Scandinavian 23 Alpha on final 22
Is
right.
Emirates still not moving? Emirates 65 Uniform Heavy, taxi to terminal, cross runway 12.
Taxi to terminal, cross runway 12. Emirates 65 Uniform Heavy.
Oh boy, what is going on? Alright, now I need... So what is the taxiway here? Emirates 65 Uniform Heavy, taxi to terminal via Alpha.
Taxi to terminal, via Alpha. Emirates 65 Uniform Heavy.
Let's see, is he going over there?
Apron, speed bird
No.
815 Charlie with information Delta, requesting push and start.
Where is he going? Emirates 65 Uniform Heavy, cross runway 12. Where's Speedbird?
Cross runway 12. Emirates
Speedbird
65 Uniform Heavy.
81.5 Charlie, pushback approved, expect runway 22 left.
Pushback approved, expect runway 22 left. Speed
Scandinavian
bird 815 Charlie.
2657, pushback approved, expect runway 22 left.
Pushback approved, expect runway 22 left.
Wizz Air
Scandinavian
Malta,
2657.
3 Yankee Charlie, taxi to terminal, cross runway 12.
Taxi to terminal,
Alright,
cross
so
runway
he's
12.
going out there.
Wizz Air Mall to 3 Yankee
Alright, and
Charlie.
the Scandinavian is there. It's not there where I was worried. Scandinavian 929 Heavy, runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff. Upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure.
Runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff. On reaching altitude
Alright.
500, contact departure.
Everything that's approaching
Scandinavian
is
929
approaching.
Heavy.
Castro Tower, Scandinavian 7742 on final 22 right.
Scandinavian 23 Alpha, runway 22 right, cleared to land. Scandinavian 7742, runway 22 right, cleared to land. Alright,
Runway
so
22 right, clear to land. Scandinavian
that's
23
the
Alpha.
other. He's good.
Runway 22 right, clear
Ty's
to land.
not coming out yet.
Scandinavian
Where's
7742.
Red Nose? Okay. So, they should be fine, because he will not be ready yet.
Speed bird 815 Charlie ready to taxi.
Speedbird 815 Charlie, runway 22 left, line up and wait.
Runway 22 left, line up and wait. Speedbird 815 Charlie.
Now it's likely that they're going there, so if Emirates starts coming this way, I'm going to hold him.
7 with information Delta, requesting push and start.
I think everybody's good.
Scandinavian 2657 ready to taxi.
Scandinavian 2657, runway 22 left, line up and wait.
Runway 22 left, line up and wait. Scandinavian 2657.
Alright, there's a bit going on here. Ryanair 70, Alpha Foxtrot, hold position.
Hold position. Ryanair 70 Alpha Foxtrot.
Ryanair 70, Alpha Foxtrot, continue taxi.
Continue taxi. Ryanair 70 Alpha Foxtrot.
Alright, let's see. Okay, Emirates is crossing over, which is a good
Castro
sign.
Tower, Scandinavian 2962 on final to right.
Because at best, maybe he's coming in here. We'll see. We'll see how they look. Scandinavian 2962, runway 22 right, cleared to land. Scandinavian 70, Papa, taxi to terminal, cross runway 12.
Runway 22 right, clear to land. Scandinavian 2962.
Alright, so
Taxi to
Scandinavian's
terminal.
going
Cross
in
runway 12.
there.
Scandinavian 70 Papa.
Red nose 3746, runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff. Upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure.
Runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff. On reaching altitude 500, contact departure. Red nose 3746.
Okay, Wizz Air Malta I know is going way over there, so as long as everybody's nearby, we'll be good. So it's going over there. Now there is a Scandinavian that's going to call in about 30 seconds. So we'll see. Alright, so Emirates is... Okay, he's just parking right there, so that's fine. That'll get him out of the way. And again, Speedbird and Wizz Air should defer to each other. Scandinavian 23 Alpha, taxi to terminal, cross runway 12.
Taxi to terminal. Cross runway 12.
Right.
Scandinavian
So they're just
23
all
Alpha.
coming in there.
Apron, Scandinavian 1621 with information Delta, requesting push and start.
Scandinavian 1621, pushback approved, expect runway 22 left.
Pushback approved, expect runway 22 left. Scandinavian
Right. We have
1621.
40 of 94 handled right now. I mean, again, we have things taxiing and so forth. And again, there were 96, but 2 got deleted. Alright, there's another Scandinavian. The 1335 is already coming in. There's a 1340 that will be approaching. And we have a couple 1340s that will be leaving. So, I think we're okay. Nobody should be getting in each other's way. Scandinavian 2657, runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff. Upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure.
Runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff on reaching altitude 500.
Scandinavian
Contact
7740.
departure.
Whoop, we're not there yet. I still don't see Thai. I see another Speedbird. Oh, that's the Speedbird, not another Speedbird, but Scandinavian 7742. Taxi to terminal, cross runway 12. Might be too early.
Taxi to terminal. Cross runway 12. Scandinavian 7742.
Alright, Is he going out here? No, he's going... No, I don't know where he's going. Where is he going? Okay, he's going there. So everybody's coming into this terminal, which is fine. Okay, so they took off 41 of 94 now. Alright, and then Wizz Air Malta will be there. Speedbird 815 Charlie, runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff upon reaching altitude 500. Contact departure.
Runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff on reaching altitude 500. Contact departure. Speedbird 815 Charlie.
Scandinavian 1621, runway 22 left, line up and wait.
Runway 22 left, line up and wait.
Nice.
Scandinavian
Very
1621.
nice. Lots going on there.
Apron, Scandinavian 1621 ready to taxi.
Castrop Tower, Scandinavian 7754 on final 22 right.
Scandinavian 7754, runway 22 right, cleared to land.
Runway 2 to right, clear to land. Scandinavian 7754.
Alright, so everybody's just making their way in. It's all good, all reasonable. Kind of get more to the center here again. Alright, Speedbird is going to take off, but yeah, we've just got a lot of parking going on. So, Scandinavian 2962, taxi to terminal, cross runway 12. Alright, looks like he is...
Taxi to terminal, cross runway 12.
Gonna go
Scandinavian
over
2962.
here, I think. No, he's going over to the... Oh, kind of. He's barely getting over to the parking there. Alright. So Wizz Air Malta, and I think... Oh no, I'm like the other Scandinavian, but not yet. Alright, so we've got an arrival coming in at 1340, one arrival coming in at 1345. That's going to get us right about the halfway mark here of what we've got to handle in this session. So again, 2 hours pretty good. I don't know, 4 hours is challenging. I did that one at Gatwick, I think, but yeah, the schedule's not insane. So this one's going because he's heading far over, so he's going to take the different taxi route. But everybody's going to park pretty quickly. We're going to have a couple planes leaving 1340. There's a Ryanair, so I'm guessing it's going to be one of these that are going to call in about 10 seconds. Well, it'll be a red nose first, so we'll head over to this side because it's going to be one of... Well, actually, the only one left is that one. I didn't realize we had two.
Red Nose 3502 with information Delta, requesting push and start.
Oh, okay. Red Nose 3502, pushback approved. Expect runway 22 left. Alright, so they're there.
Pushback approved, expect runway 22 left. Red Nose 3502.
Alright, so... Scandinavians are all doing their thing. Okay, 1340 is approaching. And again, some of the things that are cleared to land or taxiing, 7742 is a common.
Information Delta, requesting push and start.
Ryanair 78 Echo November, pushback approved, expect runway 22 left. Scandinavian 1621, runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure. Alright.
Pushback approved, expect runway 22 left. Ryanair 78 Echo November.
And, yeah, it looks
Runway
like
22
two
left.
departures, one arrival. That's kind of the cadence we have right now.
1621.
So, we'll move over. Yeah, 9 really didn't move further. I think it was just peaking a little bit. So my other key, but there we go. So 45 handled, 49 to go. Obviously that one's going to take off, so that's going to make it 48, 46. So we'll be right, like with everything we have on the ground and moving right now, we're past the halfway point. So, and then 7754 is a common, as is this one. So.
3502 ready to taxi.
Red Nose 3502, runway 22 left, line up and wait. That was really fast, it seemed, but
Runway 22 left.
maybe
Line
not.
up and wait. Red Nose 3502.
It's got a long way to come, but I think we're okay. Like, I don't think everybody else is going to gates over here. I don't think we're going to have any conflict. It moves relatively quickly through this area, too. Well, sort of. Maybe it's the optical illusion because of how far away it is. But then, yeah, we have two Scandinavians calling
Tower.
in.
Wise Air 3 Whiskey Foxtrot on final 22 right.
Wizz Air 3 Whiskey Foxtrot, runway 22 right, cleared to land. So the good news
Runway
is,
22 right,
on
cleared
my
to land.
tower companion,
Wise Air 3 Whiskey Foxtrot.
Wise Air.
Apron, Ryanair 78 Echo November ready to taxi.
Ryanair 78 Echo November, runway 22 left, line up and wait. But everything on the
Runway
schedule,
22
nothing
left.
is
Line up
missing.
and wait.
So,
Ryanair 78
tower
Echo
companion
November.
and the schedule it created working flawlessly. So, really enjoying it. There have been suggestions people have been making, like they've introduced VFR into the game. They've done other things. There's also people who want to pull custom schedules like the existing career items in. I'm not a fan of that kind of stuff. I would call that scope creep and say it's just likely to break things that are working really, really well right now. I'm like, just let Tower Companion do what it does, and you do something else. Scandinavian 7754, taxi to terminal, cross runway 12. So, yeah, I delayed that a bit.
Taxi to terminal.
26
Cross runway
seconds,
12.
wow.
Scandinavian
That was a big
7754.
delay. But, yeah. So that one's going there. So, yeah, we'll have to see. So I'm sorry. There's a guy on a riding lawnmower with a tractor that got stuck on the road outside my window. And when I say stuck, like, it's just the tractor's not moving. He's literally like shaking himself in his seat trying to get traction, and I don't think that's going to work. So I think his drive train just failed. So he's got like a tiny trailer behind it. So I don't know if he's like a local neighborhood guy who takes care of people's lawns, but he's not having a good morning. Ryanair 78 Echo November, runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff upon reaching altitude 500. Contact departure. Alright, there goes Red Nose.
Runway 22 left. Cleared for immediate takeoff on reaching altitude 500. Contact departure.
And
Ryanair
again,
78
two
Echo
Scandinavians are going to call in. Alright, one there. Again, that one's going in right there, I think.
649 with information echo. Requesting push and start.
Scandinavian 649, pushback approved. Expect runway 22 left.
Pushback approved. Expect runway 22 left. Scandinavian 649.
Now, where is 77? Oh, he's out there still. Because 7754 is one of the common liveries.
Apron. Scandinavian 2986 with information echo. Requesting push and start.
Scandinavian 2986, pushback approved. Expect runway 22 left. So yeah, I do want to get like some of these out of here, because that way we're not kind of worried about things. Alright, we're past the midpoint at this point. We're quite a ways. We're actually 45 remaining, 49 done. So things have worked out. We've gone pretty quickly, as it kind of happens. All right, this is like a, I don't know if it's like a D8, a DHA to de Havilland, but probably not going very far. I know nothing about the airports in Europe or really, other areas. I mean, so yes, I can see he is going to, where is he going? Echo November, Charlie November. So if you know where that is, or no, that's not him. He's going to Echo Delta Delta Hotel. The 2986 is going where I said first. Alright. And not sure where that Scandinavian is going, but he's got a ways to come yet, so my guess is he's going in here, but he might be going in.
Scandinavian 649 ready to taxi.
Scandinavian 649, runway 22 left, line up and wait. Red Nose 3502, runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff. Upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure.
Runway 22 left, line up and wait. Scandinavian 649.
So now we start getting into a couple
Runway 22
arrivals
left, cleared for immediate
per
takeoff on
approach
reaching altitude
cycle.
500, contact departure. Red Nose 3502.
Alright, so he's coming in.
Castro Tower, Air Baltic 29 Hotel on final 22 right.
Air Baltic 29 Hotel, runway 22 right, cleared to land. That was a 1345.
Runway 22 right, cleared to land. Air Baltic 29 Hotel.
Wise Air 3, Whiskey Foxtrot, taxi to terminal, cross runway 12. I'm assuming he's, again, going over here. He is.
Taxi to terminal.
Scandinavian
Cross runway
2986, runway
Wise
22
Air
left,
3
line up and wait.
Foxtrot.
So both of these are
Runway
like
22 left, line
de
up and
Havilland
wait.
8s.
Scandinavian 2986.
Alright, so let's see. Alright, looks like,
Scandinavian
although he
2986 ready
could
to
be
taxi.
going this way, they don't tend to stay on that, so he might be coming over here. But again, I think he'll have enough time to get out of here. So we should be alright. Again, we've got a Scandinavian and a Wizz Air Malta, which is concerning because the Wizz Air Malta, I think, is that one that came in, so I'm assuming it's just going to get sent back out now. So depending on where that Scandinavian is going, this could get a little hairy. Scandinavian 7754. Where are you going? Whoops, why can't I? Okay, so he's parking there, so that's okay. We'll ignore him now. Scandinavian 649, runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff. Upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure.
Runway 22 left,
All
cleared
right,
for
so our
immediate
delays,
takeoff on reaching altitude
16
500.
seconds,
Contact
but
departure.
this one had
Scandinavian 649.
some delay, so it's probably going to take me up by one at least, by 1 second for my overall delay, so that's not great, but it was a little hairy in the beginning, and of course, again, it's a new airport I'm not familiar with. But again, this is what I do like it definitely is getting me to a lot of the airports that were just sitting, and now I have the opportunity to utilize them in a different way. Oh, it looks like maybe he got himself moving. I don't know how, but I saw he had gotten up. But I heard a different sound, and I see he's not there, and I can't see him out of either of my windows. My room is in a corner of the house, so I can see two streets, because we are a corner house. First time I've ever lived in a corner house. I've always been told, don't do that. It's just terrible, because you don't really have a yard, but it's alright.
Apron,
We're at that point, we don't need a yard. We're not going to have kids
Echo,
playing.
requesting push and start.
Alright, where are you? Not there. Scandinavian 2746, pushback approved. Expect runway 22 left. So the real question is,
Pushback
was
approved.
that...
Expect runway 22 left. Scandinavian 2746.
I think that might have been one that had come in, so I'm not sure. Oh, we're going to have a Turkish approaching as well, so that'll be different.
Apron, Wizz Air Malta 8 down to Charlie with information echo, requesting
Yep.
push and start.
Wizz Air Malta 8, Delta Charlie. Pushback approved. Expect runway 22 left. I kind of saved it. I kind of waited up on top for what I was seeing.
Expect runway 22 left. Wizz Air Malta 8 Delta Charlie.
Scandinavian 2986, runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff. Upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure.
Runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff.
And there's
on
another
reaching
common
altitude 500. Contact departure.
that
Scandinavian
should be arriving
2986.
at 1400, a Scandinavian, so no reason to believe he's not coming. So I have a better information on the offsets, where basically if it takes, say, 10 minutes from the time a plane lands till it arrives at the gate, because the reporting in the schedules that Tower Companion is pulling basically is the arrival time, I think, so that it's more realistic, like, hey, it got to the gate when you expected, you can do that. Oh, that's a cool paint job there. Alright, Scandinavian's off. We're now 53 handled. Oh, that's right. They got to back all the way out. I forgot about those. Yeah, because I'm worried these Maltas are going to kind of... they'll be battling here.
Apron. Wizz Air Malta 8 Delta Charlie ready to taxi.
Wizz Air Malta 8 Delta Charlie, runway 22 left, line up and wait.
Runway 22 left, line up and wait. Wizz Air Malta 8 Delta Charlie.
Thing is, like, it's pretty slow out of here, so I may have to hold him because basically the choke point is there. Scandinavian 1688, runway 22 right, cleared to land.
Runway 22 right, cleared to land. Scandinavian 1688.
Air Baltic 29 Hotel, taxi to terminal, cross runway 12. I'm assuming he's, yep,
Taxi
he's
to
coming
terminal,
over here.
cross runway 12.
So
Air
he'll
Baltic
be out of the
29
way
Hotel.
of everything. Wizz Air 3 Whiskey Foxtrot, hold position.
Hold position. Y Zaire 3 Whiskey Foxtrot.
Yeah, see, he's coming in there. I
Apron.
need him out
Scandinavian
of here.
2746 ready to taxi.
Scandinavian 2746, runway 22 left, line up and wait.
Runway 22 left, line up and wait. Scandinavian 2746.
Wizz Air 3 Whiskey Foxtrot, continue taxi.
Continue taxi. Y Zaire 3 Whiskey Foxtrot.
And again, it's just this point, so as long as he gets there first, which he should, unless somehow their speeds are substantially different. Right, Scandinavian's moving. Looks like we just have a red nose departing. Ooh, then we have, looks like we have a flurry of arrivals at 1400, and I think I did talk about that. So, alright, so everybody's clear. And again, the departure at 55 is red nose.
Castor Tower, Turkish 95 Kilo Lima on final 22
So
right.
they're potentially in conflict there, so we'll have to see. Because, yeah, he's going to call in 30 seconds, so we might have to hold that Air Baltic. But that's okay. Turkish 95 Kilo Lima, runway 22 right, cleared to land.
Runway 22 right,
Right.
cleared to land.
So they're
Turkish
coming in
95 Kilo Lima.
over the water. Wizz Air Malta 8 Delta Charlie, runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff. Upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure. So yeah, it's suddenly
Runway
gotten a
22
bit...
left, cleared for immediate takeoff. On reaching altitude 500, contact departure. Wizz Air Malta
Red
8
nose
Delta Charlie.
3516, pushback approved, expect runway 22 left. Because yeah, there's really no
Pushback approved.
other
Expect
way
runway
in
22
there.
left. Red nose 3516.
So yeah, we'll have to just watch here. because we got Air Baltic coming
Apron,
in.
Red Nose 3516 with information echo. Requesting push and start.
Anyway, alright. Red Nose is there. Oh, he's already. Oh, that's good. That was quick. I like it. I like quick. I don't understand, again, what I'm looking at here. Is he going to go around in some weird manner? It doesn't even make sense. But again, the push out might be odd. Yeah, we're going to have a lot of arrivals going on. Alright, that's a takeoff finally. Scandinavian's not anywhere near the runway yet. So I'll see, because if he does face that way, but I just don't think he will. Although, I don't know. I mean, it looks like... Oh, well, then maybe we just let him keep coming. Because they'll get out of each other's way, the way this is showing. So, that is interesting. I don't know why. But I suppose, because they don't have a turn here, maybe because it would be tight. So, this will work out, actually. Oh, and we also have a lot of departures, too. So, top of the hour is going to be interesting. But there's Air Baltic. I can't zoom in anymore. But this is a pretty quick taxiway for a little segment there, at least. Oh, we've got something called
Red Nose 3516 ready to taxi.
Red Nose 3516, runway 22 left, line up and wait.
Runway 22 left, line up and wait. Red Nose 3516.
Because basically Air Baltic's going to come in behind it and then park over there.
Tango and final 22 right.
Ryanair 9er Yankee Tango, runway 22 right, cleared to land.
Runway 22 right, cleared to land. Ryanair 9er Yankee Tango.
So there's like Faroe line, which I assume is from the Faroe Islands. So that is approaching. That's one I'm not familiar with. Scandinavian 1688, taxi to terminal. Cross runway 12. Scandinavian 2746, runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff upon reaching altitude 500. Contact departure.
Taxi to terminal. Cross runway 12. Scandinavian 1688.
Runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff on reaching altitude 500. Contact departure. Scandinavian 2746.
Alright. So yeah, we've got, I think, 4 arrivals, 4 departures. So we've got 8 planes that are going to basically, that are on the schedule for 1400.
Castro Tower, the roll line 7121 on final 22 right.
Faroe line 7121, runway 22 right, cleared to land.
Runway 22 right, cleared to land. The roll line 7121.
So, I mean, we got a bit of a line already, and then again, we're going to keep getting stuff. This is like a minute and a half till 1400. But yeah, it's gonna... Then we have something called Danu. We have Danish. We have a lot of interesting things leaving. So, we shall see. But the Air Baltic should be tucking in here in a second. Where is he? So now we get a good view of him. A little green. But yeah, I think he's popping into that gate there. So, pretty nice. There goes the red nose that's finally gone around the block here. Right, and Turkish, I think, is going to come this way, but he's going to have time before he gets anywhere near the terminal. So, red nose will be long gone, but Ice Air is leaving, so going to be interesting. Turkish 95 Kilo Lima, taxi to terminal, cross runway 12.
Taxi to terminal. Cross runway 12. Turkish 95
so
Kilo
he's
Lima.
coming in right next to him. Okay, where's Danish? Alright. There is the Danish.
Danish 40 with information echo. Requesting push and start.
Danish 40, pushback approved. Expect runway 22 left. So I'm wondering if then the other one might be that Danu or whatever.
Apron, Scandinavian 1213 with information echo. Requesting push and start.
Scandinavian 1213, pushback approved. Expect runway 22 left. These are far enough apart, like he's going to get to the runway
expect
first.
Runway 22 left. Scandinavian 1213.
Alright, so... let's see. Scandinavian 1688. Where are you going?
Apron, the new 40 Romeo with information echo.
Right, so I need to get him out of here, because basically, this one's coming in there. Okay, Danu. Alright, so it is exactly what I thought. Danu 40 Romeo, pushback approved, expect runway 22 left. Alright, but that gets... whoops.
Negative. Need pushback truck. Duplicated command. Danish 40.
Danu 40 Romeo, pushback approved, expect runway 22 left.
Pushback approved, expect runway 22 left. The new 40 Romeo.
ICER 205, pushback approved, expect runway 22 left. Alright, he should have room,
left. ICER 205.
but this one will not push until that one is, like, taxiing away. It, like, locks that whole thing.
ICER 205 with information echo. Requesting push and start.
Alright, I'm waiting for Scandinavian to clear. Everybody else is coming. Turkish is coming.
Apron, Scandinavian 1213 ready to taxi.
Scandinavian 1213, runway 22 left, line up and wait. Okay, so
Runway
in
22
theory,
left, line up and wait.
he should go, but he's taken a long way around, so I don't
Castro
know.
Tower. Scandinavian 9er 36 heavy on final 22 right.
Ryanair 9 Yankee Tango. Taxi to terminal, cross runway 12.
Taxi to terminal. Cross runway 12.
Ryanair's coming in there. So, yeah, I think the Red Nose is gonna... because that's a pretty quick taxiway at that point. So we'll be good. But yeah, we're getting a pretty full... okay, so Ice Air is uncommon, which I think gets me a few more points. Danish 40, runway 22 left, line up and wait.
Runway 22 left, line up and wait. Danish 40.
Apron, ICER 205 ready to taxi.
Ice Air 205, runway 22 left, line up and wait.
Runway 22 left, line up and wait. ICER 205.
So, we'll see. Alright, he's starting to push. I mean, he's got a long way to go on the push, so I think they'll be clear of each other, but it'll be interesting to see how they do behave. Scandinavia 936 Heavy, runway 22 right, cleared to land. Yeah, see, so he
Runway
stopped
22 right,
because
cleared to
basically
land.
he's like, ooh, something's in
Scandinavian
my
9er
space.
36 heavy.
And I'm assuming he's got to clear the taxiway completely, and then he'll be able to go. What? What happened? Oh, so we did have a problem. Alright, well, we got to get rid of Turkish. That's unfortunate. Okay. I wasn't paying attention. I was getting too complacent.
Castro Tower, KLM 1271 on final 22 right.
Alright, so that'll clear that up. KLM 1271, runway 22 right, cleared to land. Now the problem will be if there's a Turkish schedule later,
Cleared to land. KLM
now the plane won't be
1271.
there to spawn. Red nose 3516, runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure. So,
Runway
we're going to
22
lose
left,
one
cleared for
there.
immediate takeoff on reaching altitude 500. Contact departure. Red nose 3516.
Scandinavian 75 Golf, pushback approved, expect runway 22 left. Now this is definitely a turnaround at this point.
Pushback approved. Expect runway 22 left. Scandinavian 75 Golf.
So let's see, let me delete the Turkish.
Apron.
'cause that one's
Scandinavian
not
75
coming
Golf
in.
with information echo. Requesting push and start.
Faro line 7121, taxi to terminal, cross runway 12.
Taxi to terminal. Cross runway 12. To
So
roll line
he's going
7121.
there. Wow, he's a minute and 23 seconds, so.
Apron, Scandinavian 1285 with information echo. Requesting push and start.
Scandinavian 1285, pushback approved, expect runway 22 left. Scandinavian 1213, runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure. Scandinavian 430, pushback approved, expect runway 22 left. Alright, so
Pushback
that
approved.
knows.
Expect runway 22 left. Scandinavian
Oh,
1285.
there's a Qatari that's
Runway 22
arriving.
left, cleared for immediate takeoff on reaching altitude 500. Contact departure. Scandinavian 1213.
Danu 40, Romeo, runway 22 left, line up and wait. Scandinavian 698, runway 22 right, cleared to land.
Pushback approved. Expect runway 22 left. Scandinavian 430.
So these are the
Runway 22 left.
1400s,
Line up and wait.
but we're already
W40 Romeo.
at 1405. We're
Runway
at
22 right.
1406.
Clear to land.
So
Scandinavian 698.
we have some backups for sure on the
Apron,
arrivals.
W40 Romeo ready to taxi.
Castrop Tower. Scandinavian 698
Now the
on
Ryanair's
502
going
right.
to go in there, so we're good. Danish 40, runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure.
Runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff on reaching altitude 500. Contact departure. Danish 40.
Alright, so we're definitely... It's now getting
Apron.
interesting.
Scandinavian 430 with information echo. Requesting push and start.
Scandinavian 936 Heavy, taxi to terminal, cross runway 12. Alright, so he's going right there.
Taxi to terminal. Cross runway 12. Scandinavian 936 Heavy.
Scandinavian 430, runway 22 left, line up and wait.
Runway 22 left. Line up and wait. Scandinavian 430.
Scandinavian 1285, runway 22 left, line up and wait.
Runway 22 left. Line up and wait. Scandinavian 1285.
Alright.
Apron. Scandinavian 1285 ready
And
to
again,
taxi.
the Faro is going that way,
Apron.
so I do have to
Scandinavian
watch
430 ready to
these
taxi.
again. I kind of messed that one up. Alright, we have 61 handled.
Castrop Tower, Alpine 5263 on final 22 right.
Alpine 5263, runway 22 right, cleared to land.
Runway 22 right, clear to land. Alpine 5263.
Ice Air 205, runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure. Scandinavian 75 Golf, runway 22 left, line up and wait. Faro line 7121, hold position. So now if I knew
Runway
and
22
could
left,
get that
cleared for
taxi to
immediate
work,
takeoff on reaching altitude 500.
but it
Contact
doesn't
ISO
appear,
205.
I suppose, let me see if I look at the
Runway 22
parking
left.
stands.
Line up and wait. Scandinavian 75 Golf. Hold position.
Faro Line 7121, taxi to terminal via Zulu.
Taxi to terminal via Zulu. Faro Line 7121.
Okay, so that will help
Scandinavian
for the little
75
bit
Golf
now
ready
that
to
we're
taxi.
like technically 30 minutes away from the last thing, but let's see. KLM's not there yet. Scandinavian 430, runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff upon reaching altitude 500. Contact departure. Scandinavian 935 heavy, pushback approved, expect runway 22 left.
Scandinavian
So yeah,
430.
we've been waiting on this one.
Pushback approved.
That
Expect
one's
runway
going to
22
San
left.
Francisco,
Scandinavian 935
so that
heavy.
one I know. KLM 1271, taxi to terminal, cross runway 12.
Taxi to terminal.
Okay,
Cross runway 12.
1 second.
KLM 1271.
Right, so he's going over there. So basically kind of the foreign ones,
Castro
if you
Tower,
want to call it,
Romeo
are down
Hotel,
here.
Hotel,
Usually
132
the
on final 22 right.
Usually the international terminals are a little bit out. Wizz Air 2, X-Ray, Echo, pushback approved, expect runway 22 left. So yeah, hoping I don't see a Turkish leaving, because then we have cost ourselves 2 planes with that mistake, which would be really unfortunate.
Scandinavian 935
I know
heavy.
this one's
Information
coming
code.
in there.
Requesting push and start.
Why is the Faro line
Why
like...
is that to X-ray echo with information
He's showing
echo,
on my
requesting push
tower,
and start.
on my TS3 assistant, but that's interesting. Romeo Hotel, Hotel 132, runway 22 right, cleared to land. So that one's interesting,
Runway
because
22
I'm assuming
right,
that's just
clear
a
to land.
GA aircraft.
Romeo Hotel, Hotel 132.
Alright, is he
Abram,
gone?
Scandinavian
Yeah.
935 heavy ready to taxi.
Scandinavian 935 heavy, runway 22 left, line up and wait. Danu 40 Romeo, runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure.
Runway 22 left, line up and wait. Scandinavian 935
And
heavy.
we're going to have Wizz Air.
Runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff. On reaching altitude 500, contact departure. The new 40 Romeo.
But everybody's coming in, doing their thing, so it's all good. Got a couple coming in. This is the Alpine, and then the Romeo. Then there's a red nose behind. So that's both of the 1405s, but there's two 1410s, and we're 2 minutes behind for that. So Wizz 2 X-Ray Echo, runway 22 left, line up and wait. Scandinavian 1285, runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure. Scandinavian 698, taxi to terminal, cross runway 12.
Runway 22 left, line up and wait. Wizz Air 2 X-ray echo.
Alright, that was
Runway
a 30-second
left,
delay.
cleared for immediate takeoff.
Right,
On reaching
and again,
altitude
KLM is
500,
going over
contact
there.
Departure. Scandinavian 1285.
I don't think this one...
Taxi to
or no,
terminal.
that's the one that
Cross
just
runway
got here.
12. Scandinavian 698.
Right, we're at 15-second average delay.
3087 on final 22 right.
So we're starting to get a line again because we're getting a lot of planes. We're going to get 3 more that are going to call, in theory, in a couple minutes. So we shall see. Red nose, 3087, runway 22 right, cleared to land.
Runway 22 right, cleared to land. Red nose 3087.
Scandinavian 75 Golf, runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure. Alright,
Runway 22 left,
Atari
cleared for
coming
immediate
in.
takeoff on reaching altitude 500. Contact departure. Scandinavian 75 Golf.
Not anything super exciting, but, you know, it is there. Okay, and the Lufthansa at 1410 has appeared, so I have two 1410 approaches at least. Alright, what have we got? Alpine 5263 taxi to terminal, cross runway 12. So he's going out
Taxi
there
to terminal,
somewhere, I
cross
think.
runway 12, Alpine 5263.
Where is he going? Interesting.
Castro Towers, Qatari 49 Foxtrot heavy on final 22 right.
Yeah, I'm not sure where he's going, honestly. So he's heading up. Scandinavian 935 Heavy, runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure. Qatari 49 Foxtrot Heavy, runway 22 right, cleared to land.
Runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff. On reaching altitude 500, contact departure. Scandinavian 935 Heavy.
Scandinavian 1257, pushback approved, expect runway 22 left.
Runway 22 right, clear to land. Qatari 49 Foxtrot heavy. Pushback approved, expect runway 22 left. Scandinavian 1257.
Alright, so we've got a couple approaching. All the 1410s are approaching.
Scandinavian 1257 with information Foxtrot, requesting push and start.
But we've got a couple. There we go. Scandinavian 1872, pushback approved, expect runway 22 left. Wizz Air 2 X-Ray Echo, runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure. Oop.
Pushback approved, expect runway 22 left.
Oh, it's a heavy.
1872.
It's a heavy.
Runway 22 left, clear for immediate takeoff. On reaching altitude 500, contact
take a look at
departure.
this, yeah.
Wizz Air 2 X-Ray Echo.
Romeo Hotel Hotel 132, taxi to terminal, cross runway 12.
Taxi to terminal, cross runway 12. Romeo Hotel Hotel 132.
Alright, so he's going out.
Castro Tower, Lufthansa 4 Yankee Foxtrot on final 22 right.
Alright, so he's going way out there. Okay. So that makes sense. Lufthansa 4 Yankee Foxtrot, runway 22 right, cleared to land.
Runway 22 right.
Ryanair 98 Whiskey
Lufthansa
Delta,
4 Yankee
pushback
Foxtrot.
approved, expect runway 22 left.
Pushback approved, expect runway 22 left. Ryanair 98 Whiskey Delta.
Scandinavian's going in there, I know that.
Scandinavian 1257 ready to taxi.
Alright, the EasyJet.
Apron,
It's probably coming in
Scandinavian
there.
1872 with information Foxtrot, requesting push and start.
Scandinavian 1257, runway 22 left, line up and wait.
Runway 22 left, line up and wait. Scandinavian 1257.
Alright, so hopefully we've got enough time for him to get around. Again, this is a quick
Apron, Ryanair 98 Whiskey
taxi.
Delta with information Foxtrot, requesting push and start.
Apron, Scandinavian 1872 ready to taxi.
Alright, I think as long as he gets around this turn,
Castro Tower, Scandinavian 69 Romeo on
so I'm
final
just
22
kind of
right.
waiting for that. I'm giving it a little bit. Scandinavian 69 Romeo, runway 22 right, cleared to land.
Runway 22 right, cleared to land. Scandinavian 69 Romeo.
Scandinavian 1872, runway 22 left, line up and wait.
Runway 22 left, line up and wait. Scandinavian 1872.
Red Nose 3087, taxi to terminal, cross runway 12.
Taxi to terminal, cross runway 12, Red Nose 3087.
Alright.
Apron, Ryanair 98 Whiskey Delta ready to taxi.
Ryanair 98 Whiskey Delta, runway 22 left, line up and wait. So again, these two should
Runway
be
22 left, line
clear,
up and wait. Ryanair 98 Whiskey Delta.
I would think. The EasyJet, whoops, wrong way. EasyJet should be, I assume, parking somewhere there. Alright, everybody's clear. We've just got, it looks like one departure at 12:20. We still have a 14:15 arrival that has not gotten on approach yet. So I'm a little concerned with that. Not gonna lie. Okay, there's the Qatari. I'm sure he's going to the end again. Oh, it looks like EasyJet's just gonna park right there. So that'll make it easy. Scandinavian 1257, runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff. Upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure.
Runway 22 left,
Right.
clear for immediate takeoff.
Qatari.
On reaching altitude 500, contact departure.
Right.
Scandinavian
The last
1257.
1415 is there, and there's only one 1420. We're 35 seconds away from 1420, so we're kind
Castro
of
Tower, Red
catching
Nose
up on the
3613
arrivals.
final 22 right.
Red Nose 3613, runway 22 right, cleared to land. So that's one of the last ones.
Runway 22 right, cleared to land. Red Nose 3613.
Okay. Qatari 49 Foxtrot Heavy, taxi to terminal, cross runway 12.
Taxi to terminal, cross runway 12, Qatari 49 Foxtrot Heavy.
He says he's
Apron,
going.
Rider
They're-
251 Yankee with information Foxtrot. Requesting push and
Qatari
start.
49 Foxtrot Heavy, taxi to terminal, cross runway 12. Yeah, it kind of does something
Taxi
weird.
to terminal, cross runway 12.
Now let's make
Qatari
sure he's
49
not
Foxtrot
stuck.
Heavy.
Alright. Because that's how the other one got stuck, where I had to tell him via Alpha. And then he finally was able to go later. Ryanair 251 Yankee, pushback approved, expect runway 22 left. Scandinavian 1872, runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff. Upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure.
Pushback approved. Expect runway 22 left. Ryanair 251 Yankee.
Runway 22 left, clear for immediate takeoff. On reaching altitude 500, contact departure. Scandinavian 1872.
Okay. Alright, so I know Red Nose is going to go that way, so as long as nothing starts coming from there. Alright, we have the Thai. Again, I don't see a Turkish in my list yet. I don't want to see one, because we know that one will not spawn. Alright, we're catching up from the onslaught of
Castro Tower,
departures.
Swiss 43 Charlie on final 22 right.
Swiss 43 Charlie, runway 22 right, cleared to land.
Runway 22 right, cleared to land. Swiss 43 Charlie.
Lufthansa 4 Yankee Foxtrot, taxi to terminal, cross runway 12. Alright, so again,
Taxi to terminal,
oh, he's
cross
going
runway
there.
12. Lufthansa 4 Yankee Foxtrot.
Ryanair 98 Whiskey Delta, runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff. Upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure.
Runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff. On reaching altitude 500, contact departure. Ryanair 98 Whiskey Delta.
Okay, so again, he's going way out
Apron.
there.
Ryanair
He's close.
251 Yankee ready to taxi.
Ryanair 251 Yankee, runway 22 left, line up and wait.
Runway 22 left. Line up and wait.
So,
Ryanair 251
definitely a fun
Yankee.
airport. This was the one we had, the schedule we had created with Gatwick, where we were trying to see if there was some, I think that's the Nigeris design logo. It's kind of funny that they're on the buildings, but I don't know, maybe they're based in Copenhagen. It's like, yeah, our buildings are right outside. Alright, so Scandinavian, alright, the Red Nose. Yeah, that's the 1420. Hopefully 1425s will show up when they should. Scandinavian 69 Romeo, taxi to terminal, cross runway 12. Alright, so he's going into there.
Taxi to terminal. Cross runway 12. Scandinavian
And
69
Lufthansa's
Romeo.
going there, so everybody's kind of going together. Oh, the Qatari Well, nothing's really moving that is in the way. Air Baltic is going to take off, so it's good that that one landed. Otherwise, that would not be happening. But it gives me a little worry for the Turkish. But we are within like 20 minutes of the end of the schedule, so maybe they wouldn't have turned around because it was a heavy. So I assume the turnaround on that is going to be longer. Ryanair 251 Yankee, runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff upon reaching altitude 500. Contact departure. We'll just get him set.
Runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff. On reaching altitude 500.
I'm assuming the Qatari will just go in there somewhere. Yeah, I don't know where the... Oh, that was the Alpine. That was the EasyJet.
Castro Tower.
I'm not sure
Red
where
nose
he ended up.
3351 on final 22 right.
Red nose 3351, runway 22 right, cleared to land. So again,
runway 22 right, cleared to land. Red nose 3351.
Alright, Red nose hasn't parked yet, but the other one has. Now Red nose has. So we have 15 left. But yeah, Qatari's coming in. I'm guessing he's going to one of those gates. Ryanair's leaving. Another Red nose is landing. Red nose 20. Whoop. Red nose 3613. Taxi to terminal. Cross runway 12.
Taxi to terminal. Cross runway 12. Red nose 3613.
So I'm gonna... I don't know, I almost would have to learn each airport,
Apron.
but I'm
Thai
thinking
9 or
10
51
minutes.
Heavy with information Foxtrot. Requesting push and start.
Thai 9 or 51 heavy, pushback approved, expect runway 22 left.
Pushback approved, expect runway 22 left.
Now, I'm assuming
Thai
that
9 or
one's
51
not
heavy.
gonna take off. Oh, the Qatari's going... Let's see, where's he going?
Apron, Air Baltic 2 Whiskey Kilo with information Foxtrot. Requesting push and start.
Air Baltic 2 Whiskey Kilo, pushback approved, expect runway 22 left.
Pushback approved, expect runway 22
Lufthansa
left.
4 Yankee
Air Baltic
Foxtrot.
2 Whiskey Kilo.
Oh, that's right, he's going there. Just the Red nose might be a problem, but he's a ways down, so we'll see. Alright, so those are the only two departing right now. So again, these tend to take a little longer than the challenges because they don't land or end right away, so we're able to finish all the planes. So, again, it was 1444, we're at 1426, so it's not like we're in any position right now that we'd be having that problem. But, we'll see. Alright, everybody's off. Scandinavian's coming across. The Swiss is landing.
Apron. Thai 9 or 51 heavy ready to taxi.
Thai 9 or 51 heavy, runway 22 left, line up and wait.
Runway 22 left.
Swiss
line up and
43
wait.
Charlie,
Thai 9 or
taxi to
51
terminal,
heavy.
cross runway 12. Alright, so he's parking there.
Taxi to terminal. Cross runway 12. Swiss
Air Baltic
43
2
Charlie.
Whiskey Kilo, runway 22 left, line up and wait.
Runway 22 left.
So I
line
basically
up and
need
wait.
him
Air
past
Baltic 2
here.
Whiskey Kilo.
Let's see.
Apron, Air Baltic 2
Red
Whiskey
nose
Kilo ready to taxi.
3613, taxi to terminal via Zulu, cross runway 12.
Taxi to terminal. Via Zulu. Cross runway
Then they
12.
only need to not
Red nose
overlap
3613.
there, which will be great, because yeah, he's coming in here, they'll be out of each other's way, but that will allow a little cleaner move there. Okay, the two that I have are taxiing. We're down to 12. Again, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the tarmac around the airport. One's still coming in for approach now. Yeah, there's a 1430, so right now, yeah, I think the challenges are going to be there's some 1440 approaches. They'll come in, but they're going to be late, so, and that's again where if we did the offset, I think we'd get some things in earlier. So I may try that in a schedule later on. But I still have, obviously, the Salt Lake City schedule that I had created. But that's the last one that's on landing. Another red nose. So the thing is, we may... I don't know if we have any 1440 departures. They wouldn't be showing up on my strips yet. Let's see, now they're clear of each other, where otherwise I would be holding him. But yeah, I had to go to the parking chart on the airport. The airport chart itself didn't have these taxiways clearly laid out. Wow, it's always slow. But yeah, given how slow these go, like, we might be okay if we get some departure, because we've got an Alpine, Scandinavian. I don't see a Turkish, and I think we might be close. We might be at the end of the list, honestly, now that I think about it. So we just may have two arrivals at 1448. Yeah, it looks like it's not letting me scroll. I'm trying to scroll there, but... Red nose, 3351, taxi to terminal, cross runway 12.
Taxi to terminal, cross runway 12. Red nose 3351.
Alright. Thai 951 heavy, runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure. Scandinavian 2777, pushback approved, expect runway 22 left.
Runway 22 left.
We do have a 1435
on reaching
leaving.
altitude 500. Contact departure. Thai 951 heavy.
Pushback approved. Expect runway 22 left. Scandinavian 2777.
Alright, just to speed things up a bit, I'm going to allow approaches now at the end.
Apron. Scandinavian 2777 with information Foxtrot.
Because we have
Requesting
two
push and
planes
start.
coming in at 1440, they might then go ahead. Alpine 5264, pushback approved, expect runway 22 left.
Pushback approved, expect runway 22 left. Alpine 5264.
Again, Swiss is going to go out there, Red Nose is going to go out there.
Paper. Alpine 5264 with information Golf. Requesting push and start.
Alright, Thai is taken off. Yeah, so we've got one more departure, which is going to be a Scandinavian, which does have a common livery, so that will help us for our spotting. I don't know if that Turkish did or not. It ultimately obviously doesn't matter because we lost it. But there goes the Thai. Nothing else will be on the runway where I need to worry about delaying for the heavy. But yeah, definitely we're now kind of coming off the bottom because the Red Nose parked and such. But as these are taxiing in,
Apron.
like we're going to have the two on 1440.
Ready to taxi.
Scandinavian 2777, runway 22 left, line up and wait.
Runway 22 left, line up and wait. Scandinavian 2777.
Alright, Air Baltic is going to get over there. I'm thinking before these are off, because we still have another Scandinavian calling in, but I'm thinking the Red Nose will be parked before those others are at the runway and gone.
Paper. Alpine
Swiss, I think, is
5264 ready
going
to
there.
taxi.
Alpine 5264, runway 22 left, line up and wait.
Runway 22 left. Line up and wait. Alpine 5264.
So I'm thinking it'll be this
Castrop
plane.
Tower, Scandinavian 682 on final
But we'll
22
see.
right.
We still have 2.5 minutes, so. Scandinavian 682, runway 22 right, cleared to land. Now see, this is the 1430.
Runway 22 right, cleared to land. Scandinavian 682.
And we've got two more at 1440 is what's left, so that'll be the big one. But we have Swiss Red Nose and the Scandinavian are the only arrivals. The Swiss is going to park pretty quickly. Air Baltic 2 Whiskey Kilo, runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff. Upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure.
Runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff. On reaching altitude 500, contact departure. Air Baltic 2 Whiskey Kilo.
Alright, so I am actually going to speed this up a little bit here, just to gain a bit. Alright, so Red Nose is already there. We're down to 7 remaining. Obviously 3 of them are here on the ground.
Apron, Scandinavian 581
And I was
information
right.
Golf, requesting push and start.
Scandinavian 581, pushback approved, expect runway 22 left. Alpine 5264, runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff. Upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure.
Pushback approved, expect runway 22 left. Scandinavian 581.
Now we still don't have
Runway 22 left.
the
Cleared
other
for immediate
landing
takeoff.
one
On
yet.
reaching altitude 500, contact departure. Alpine 5264.
Scandinavian 2777, runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff. Upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure. Right, that's the 1430.
Runway
It's now
22 left, cleared for immediate
1437.
takeoff. On reaching
And
altitude
he's crossing
500,
the
contact
threshold.
departure. Scandinavian
So that's the thing, we
2777.
almost really need like a 15-minute offset at this
Scandinavian
airport.
581 ready to taxi.
Scandinavian 581, runway 22 left, line up and wait.
Runway 22 left, line up and wait. Scandinavian 581.
Alright. The Red Nose is there, so... Alright, and then there's a Nordic. But we'll see. So the Scandinavian has to get over here. Scandinavian 682, taxi to terminal, cross runway 12.
Taxi to terminal.
Going into
Cross
that
runway
gate.
12. Scandinavian 682.
Scandinavian 581, runway 22 left, cleared for immediate takeoff. Upon reaching altitude 500, contact departure. So that's the last one with the common livery.
Runway 22 left.
Now
Clear
let's
for
see
immediate
if the
takeoff.
others
On reaching
approach.
altitude 500,
We've got a
contact
minute.
departure. Scandinavian 581.
30 seconds. Not approaching. Okay, there's Nordic. That's one of them. Alright, we're down to 3. I don't see the other one cleared yet, or approaching. There it is. Alright, so they are both coming.
Castrip Tower, Nordic 970 and final 22 right.
Nordic 970, runway 22 right, cleared to land. Alright, and we know the
Runway 22 right, cleared to
Scandinavian's
land. Nordic
gonna
970.
hop in. There's another Scandinavian landing. But Nordic was the one sometimes that hadn't spawned at other airports, so I was a little worried about
Castrip
that.
Tower, Scandinavian 7772 on final 22 right.
Scandinavian 7772, runway 22 right, cleared to land. Alright.
Runway
So
22 right,
everybody's
clear to land.
cleared.
Scandinavian 7772.
And they're coming in. He's quick, isn't he? Alright. So 91 handled, 2 to go. Obviously we're gonna get him to call in. I assume he's gonna go over here. Nordic 970. Taxi to terminal, cross runway 12. And there you go.
Taxi
He's
to
going in
terminal,
there.
cross runway 12, Nordic 970.
Scandinavian 772, taxi to terminal, cross runway 12. Oh. Scandinavian 7772, taxi to terminal, cross runway 12. Not sure what happened there, but
Taxi to terminal.
got
Cross
an
runway
8-second
12.
delay.
Scandinavian 7772.
So here they come. So we'll see. Nordic's gonna go over there, so it's still a red nose, but it's called something else. Alright, and he's going there, and he is going there. So we have finished. Alright, so schedules, 29 achievements, not sure. We'll mark it as completed. Interesting though, it slotted it in where it was saved, not where I played it. So I'm level 25, 1,361 flights. But if I go to, let's go to my spotter score. Okay, I moved up to 41. Part of it is, you know, we got 2 uncommons, which are 15. Interesting, 15 and 5. They're not both 15. That's interesting how it works that, but yeah, we're doing okay there. Career-wise, I'm guessing let's see, this was what was it? Copenhagen. So Echo Kilo Charlie Hotel. Just kind of scanning for Echo. They're so hard to find. Echo Kilo Charlie Hotel. Is there not a thing for this one? Because this is an official one, I think. Alright, I'm about ready to stop looking. I'm going to go through very deliberately. Oh, there it is. Copenhagen. Alright. Just hard to find them sometimes. So yeah, I think that was the only achievement. We are still not unlocked cargo. So, you know, again, that gives us a few more points. So that's always nice to get. But yeah, getting to 30 might be easier. Getting beyond that, I think, is going to be a bit more of a slog because you're going to be waiting for things to happen. But, you know, I think I can get a lot of the achievements unlocked as I go along to get to 30, but we'll see. I struggle with some of these small ones like Tist, which is, you know, the first airport you do a career challenge at when you're learning Tower Simulator. Very, very quiet, 1 runway, you know, in St. Thomas, obviously. Even in the middle of the day, I've never seen more than like 10 aircraft scheduled there, so it's definitely a quiet airport. So getting to 25 is going to take a while. But in any event, we'll see how that goes as we start getting lower on the list. You know, again, we got Salt Lake, but we need 100. We don't have 100, so that's a busy airport, but we're not going to have that. But as we start getting lower to things not being unlocked, I'll certainly target some of them to work them and try to get them unlocked. But we shall see how things go. In the meantime, as always, if you've enjoyed this, haven't dropped a like or subscribe, please consider that, and I'll see you next time.